Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generation discussion on the fallout from Boruto chapter 77. And today I wanted to go over something that one of you guys pointed out after Kawaki sealed away Naruto, which is that Kawaki had a very specific wording when he spoke about destroying the Otsutsuki clan. And I was asked to make a video on if Kawaki will attempt to gain the power of an Otsutsuki god in his quest to destroy the Otsutsuki clan, or if he would go as far as to seal the 10 tails inside of himself in order to accomplish the same goal. If this is what Boruto meant in the future when he said he can't believe Kawaki went this far, and how this story will be impacted if this does end up becoming the case. Now, I think we all can agree that after Kawaki just pulled up to Naruto's house and sealed away Naruto and Hinata before Naruto could serve Hinata some strudel to go alongside her pie, there was clearly not a line that Kawaki wouldn't cross in order to achieve his goal if he believes he's doing the correct thing. We've seen that his resolve is hardened enough that not only is he willing to kill someone who he views to be like a brother in Boruto, but he's also in the right state of mind enough to know that he has to seal away Naruto in order to create the path of least resistance in order to do so. However, Kawaki has shown that he's deep thinking enough to know that the current power that he has won't be enough to take down every Otsutsuki that is out there. He's going to need more power, especially now that he knows about the existence of Shinjutsu and Shibai Otsutsuki. So in today's video, we're going to unpack the route that Kawaki is taking, and if this is actually going to be something that sends him too far off the deep end to be redeemed. It's not really a shock when you think about it. Kawaki seeking other means of power from things other than ninjutsu, it makes a lot of sense. When he was first introduced into the series, the very first thing we saw him use was scientific ninja weapon tech, and then we saw him use the power of karma. When it came to him using ninjutsu, we've seen that while he does have a natural talent for it, his tendency is still to go back to using ninja tech and the Otsutsuki power. It's just something easier for him to use. It's more comfortable for Kawaki, and it gives him the fastest route to attain the results he's looking for. Whereas with ninjutsu, we saw that he's picked up on things like walking on trees easily, and he's even picked up on changing chakra nature very fast, despite it being something that Naruto's manga said typically requires tuning, years of changing chakra nature drills in order to attain a change in chakra nature. There's enough talent there that we can see why Naruto took such a strong interest in Kawaki, and it's what makes Kawaki saying in the future the age of the shinobi is over so crushing, because at the rate that Kawaki was growing under Naruto's tutelage, Kawaki could have been an amazing shinobi for Konoha. However, we know that he's wrong about the age of shinobi being over, and it's not just because Boruto said that he's still a shinobi, it's because we can all show Boruto support with the I Am Shinobi merch on the Naruto Explained Teespring, where the needle moves through your ninja journey from a Genin all the way up to a Hokage. Someone needs to send this shirt to Konohamaru via their Ninjas on Prime account, because this is the only way he's ever gonna be Hokage, by wearing this shirt and using the 20% off promo code PAT. I do think that at some point, once all the chaos has died down from him sealing away Naruto, battling his way out of Konoha, likely regrouping, following the inevitable battles with Boruto and Team 7 with Ada and Damon likely at his side after Kawaki is forced to retreat, Kawaki is going to sit back and reflect on the information that's given to him. He knows using karma is going to be his key to bringing down the Otsutsuki, but he also knows Otsutsuki continue to evolve, and he knows that someone like Code is seeking power of the Otsutsuki by consuming a chakra fruit. The idea of Kawaki being so consumed by the desire to gain power to bring down the Otsutsuki that he goes as far as to try and harvest a chakra fruit is actually something appealing. This would certainly give him the power buff that he needs to attain the power that's needed to bring down the entire clan. We've seen Sasuke, once he made his turn away from Konoha, that those who seek power in the darkness, they don't always make the most level-headed decisions, even though they're completely aware of what it is that they're doing, and they might believe they're thinking with a logical mind. They can still make errors in judgment due to always being on a sliding scale. Could Kawaki come to the conclusion that he just needs to send people that he cares about to another dimension and harvest a chakra fruit to gain power? He'd have to descend into a pretty warped sense of justice and determination in order to go that far. However, it's worth noting, if we go by what the anime showed us in the filler, Kaguya was able to contain the effects of the God Tree to only one area. It wasn't the entire planet that she was using human sacrifices for. If we go the route that Kawaki does something similar, it could work. work. But then the question of feeding an Otsutsuki sacrifice comes up, and that will be a cause to Boruto to be at odds with them unless he's using Ada as an Otsutsuki GPS tracker to find the Otsutsuki out there and find the weakest one and basically teleport himself and Damon to that Otsutsuki, beat them up, and then haul them in front of the Ten Tails. And speaking of the Ten Tails, another thing I was asked was if Kawaki would go as far as to pull up to that Ten Tails dimension, basically beat the life out of Code, reform the Ten Tails, and then seal it inside of himself to access its power to become a jinchuuriki. Basically, Kawaki attaining some form of six-pass power. When we look at what was previously in manga format, the only way we saw that this is made possible by someone who wasn't given six-pass Sage Mode by Hagoromo like how Naruto was in order to use the six-pass coffin seal that Madara and Obito use as a key to unlock that power. However, in Boruto, we've seen the expansion of the lore just a little bit. We were told that Hagoromo had to use the creation of all things, a yin-yang released jutsu to create the tail beast, but then we see Code split the Ten Tails up into 1,000 plus Jubi clones. I'm honestly not that big of a fan of it, but it would be ironic in two different ways. Kawaki being obsessed with Naruto and becoming a jinchuuriki, like how Naruto used to be, Kawaki disliking shinobi but using a method to acquire power that is as shinobi as it gets, given that shinobi view Biju as being weapons of power, as being power sources. On one hand, I see the logic behind the quest to talk about this. Kawaki's obsession with Naruto is clearly going to drive him to do insane things, and he knows there's only so far that he's gonna be able to go to use the power of Ishiki, and that at some point he's going to need more power to combat Shinjutsu and any other hidden powers that other Otsutsuki might have. And since his goal is to take down all the Otsutsuki, that means ascending to whatever plane of existence that Shibai is on and take down Shibai. Someone who just by screaming can make thunderstorms and waving his arms made tornadoes and natural disasters. It's hard to see some path other than consuming a chakra fruit or sealing the Ten Tails inside of Kawaki in order to reach that level of power that he wants to reach. I just don't know if I can actually come fully to grips with Kawaki going this far just yet based off what we've seen. But then again, we are pretty early on in this process of Kawaki. He has shown us that when he gets new information, he will update his stance and take whatever path he needs to achieve his desired outcome. He's also shown us that he is prone to manipulation. Amato in particular has shown that. So the idea that Amato pulls one over on Kawaki again, it isn't necessarily crazy. He's already pushed him emotionally to activate the Karma Seal again for his own motives. It's not crazy to think that if Kawaki leaves Konoha and has Amato with him, that Amato might not find some way to have Kawaki chase Otsutsuki godhood in order to give himself another failsafe to bring his daughter's consciousness back to life, especially if the manga does what it's done in the past and build off some of the stuff that filler has been introduced in the first two Naruto anime. Amato was willing to bet a large number of children and let them die. Also, you could find someone like Kawaki in his effort to bring his daughter's consciousness back to life via the clone of his daughter that we know as Delta. The idea that he isn't above letting Kawaki sacrifice a set area of the planet in order to harvest the chakra fruit needed for Kawaki, I don't think it's crazy. That being said, if Kawaki falls this far, I wouldn't go so far as to say that he can't be redeemed. I think Kawaki can still be redeemed even if he goes that far, but I do worry that this would be something that turns off too many people if Boruto continues to train in what we saw with Naruto, which is the new generation has moments where it parallels the old generation with slight changes made. Very similar to how Star Wars did with each of the three trilogies, having connected points where you could draw parallels in a way to where they actually rhyme, which Naruto leaned very heavily into that form of writing. I just think due to where the perception is on Boruto as a franchise, this might be something that leaves a bad taste in the mouths of a lot of casual fans, even though it's literally something that you'd expect from Naruto for there to be some form of a parallel between characters, with only the journey itself being different because each character has their own individual journey. Given that we've hit the point where we still have people reaching for the smallest things right now out of their disdain for the franchise, pointing out stuff that isn't true, like somebody saying that nobody uses hand seals in Boruto anymore despite the new generation constantly using hand seals because they aren't fighting people who can absorb their jutsu, or saying that the Will of Fire is dead in Boruto, whereas We see the exact opposite, where Boruto's trying to walk in the shoes of Sasuke, become the next Shadow Hokage like Sasuke. Sarada wants to become the Hokage like Naruto did. We see parents passing down their jutsu to their children, just like they did in Naruto. I fear if we have this take place, you're gonna have a lot of idiots who say that Kawaki is Sasuke Jr., just like they try to say that Megumi from Jujutsu Kaisen is a Sasuke Jr., or that Aki Hayakawa from Chainsaw Man is a Sasuke Jr. I think this might be something that might not have the intended effect that they want, but then again, I might be too pessimistic. I'm curious to know you guys' thoughts on this. However, how far do you think Kawaki would go to destroy the Otsutsuki clan? Will he try to contain a harvesting of a chakra fruit to only one area, or will he go the route of sealing the 10 tails inside of him, or do you see something else being the case? While you think that over, click here to watch this Kryptonian Saiyan video, or click here for this Naruto Explained video.